The Attorney General of the United States just announced on a podcast that she's going to start arresting people for constitutionally protected speech in 2025 in America. Look, Trump supporters have defended literally everything: kids in cages, fine, January 6th, patriotic tourism, classified documents in a bathroom, executive privilege, but apparently threatening to arrest people for constitutionally protected speech was the last straw, and the line that they weren't willing to cross. And honestly, good for them, I guess. Better late than never. Conservative heavyweight Brit Hume had to publicly educate the Attorney General on basic constitutional law. Someone needs to explain to Miss Bondi that so-called hate speech, repulsive though as it may be, is actually protected by the First Amendment. She should know this. Matt Walsh, who has nearly 4 million conservative followers, was even more direct. Get rid of her today, period. This is insane. The beautiful irony: Charlie Kirk himself, the conservative activist whose death Bondi is using to justify this authoritarian power grab, literally posted on social media in May 2024 that there was no such thing as hate speech under the Constitution. She's using a man's death to justify violating the very principles he died defending. The audacity is breathtaking, but Bondi wasn't done trampling on constitutional rights yet. Later that night on Fox News' Hannity, she threatened to prosecute businesses that refused to print Charlie Kirk's memorial posters, claiming that private businesses cannot discriminate. We can prosecute you for that. This directly contradicts the Supreme Court decision protecting a Colorado baker's right to refuse service based on his beliefs. But Bondi wants to selectively enforce constitutional protections based on political convenience. So let me get this straight. Christian bakers can refuse to make gay wedding cakes, but Office Depot employees can't refuse to print conservative memorial posters? The logic is not quite logicking. So let's take a look at the clip.
There's free speech and then there's hate speech. And there is no place, especially now, especially after what happened to Charlie, in our society.
Do you see more law enforcement going after these groups who are using hate speech and putting cuffs on people so we show them that some action is better than no action?
We will absolutely target you, go after you, if you are targeting anyone with hate speech, anything. And that's across the aisle.
Now, here's the part that really will make you question everything and simultaneously make, I guess, perfect sense if you've been paying attention to this administration. When reporters pressed Trump about Bondi's unconstitutional threats, he looked directly at ABC's Jonathan Karl and said, "We'll probably go after people like you because you treat me so unfairly. It's hate." That's a quote from the President of the United States, who just threatened to prosecute a reporter for asking tough questions. This is our actual reality right now. And here's what's really wild. This isn't even close to the most authoritarian thing this administration has done, but it's the thing that finally made conservatives uncomfortable. Bondi is spearheading a campaign to destroy anyone who dared criticize Charlie Kirk, leading to teachers, military workers, military personnel all being fired from their jobs for exercising their constitutional rights. But threatening to arrest people for hate speech, that's where they draw the line. I mean, I guess at least they have a line, whatever, we'll take it. If Bondi can redefine hate speech to mean anything that offends her political sensibilities, what's to stop her from coming for you next? Criticize government policy, hate speech against public servants, question election integrity, hate speech against democracy. Point out that, let's zoom out for a second. Attorney General Pam Bondi took a $25,000 bribe from Trump. Hate speech against law enforcement. This is how constitutional republics die. Not with tanks on the streets, but with partisan prosecutors redefining fundamental rights out of existence, one constitutional threat at a time. And here's the kicker. All this backlash, Bondi tried to clean up her mess by telling Axios that her office isn't actually going to prosecute anyone for hate speech, only for speech that unlawfully incites violence. But here's the thing. Inciting violence was already illegal. We didn't need Bondi to invent a new category of prosecutable speech. The fact that she had to walk back her comments proves she knew exactly what she was doing, testing the waters to see how far she could push before Americans pushed back. She got caught saying the quiet part out loud, and now she's scrambling to pretend she never meant what she clearly said on multiple platforms. Pam Bondi has shown us exactly who she is, a corrupt GOP partisan who will use the Justice Department as Trump's personal revenge machine. Constitution be damned. The fact that it took openly threatening to arrest Americans for protected speech to finally get conservatives to speak up tells you everything you need to know about how far we've fallen. When even the most loyal Trump supporters are now calling for her removal, she's openly threatened to prosecute the First Amendment out of existence. And when she's using a tragedy to justify authoritarian overreach, every American should be asking, how did we get here? How did we let it get this bad? What are you going to do about it? If you want more coverage of stories like this that hold power accountable, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We're not backing down from calling out corruption yet, wherever we find it.